I'm just going to talk a little louder right now because I don't push the button too fast. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I wanted to take a minute out to do a little bit of clarifying on this little video. If you watched it, then you'll understand why I want to clarify just a little bit. Now, of course, I do things off instinct from experience and in the moment. Now, I did have to do a little bit of reading and things like that to kind of make sure I understood and I wasn't steering you guys in the wrong direction. And then what I realized is how the aspect that I was coming from would or could cause a little bit confusion. So I'm gonna clarify it just a tad bit. When it comes to hosting, there are different types. For example, video, email, web, shared, dedicated VPSs. Okay. Now, within those types of hosting, you have the option to either self manage or have it managed. Okay. Now, if you are listening or if you did watch the video, you will, it could cause a little confusion. Okay. So I just want to make sure that that is coming from the perspective of managing versus non managing. Now, as far as hosting, you can either self manage your hosting plan or you can have your hosting plan managed. The type of plan, the type of hosting plan that you choose is basically your preference and whatever your desired results is going to be. Okay? So, just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, I went ahead and set up a testing account from WordPress.com. Now, couple things. Hosting is very important. So, if you're looking to create a website, start a website, add a website, anything like that, hosting is going to be very, very big. It's going to be important. So, you'll have choices of managed hosting or self hosting. And there's different other hosting options that I will go into it as I progress. But for right now, I just want to introduce the testing sites and make a couple notations. So as I go through this little hands-on process of giving you guys a visual of self-managed and managed hosting. So as you are deciding which way to go, which will work better for you, you'll kind of have kind of a visual to help you decide. So, a couple things I do want to say with this account, this WordPress.com account, they do have free plans, which means, and it doesn't expire, which means that you create your website for free, but you still have to pay for hosting. Okay. So at this point, that's what you're looking at on this screen. I went ahead and I created the account. Well, I added a website to my account because I currently already have a WordPress account, which is a self managed. This one right here is going to be managed. Now, they do offer a domain for a year for free. So I will probably go ahead and utilize that just to kind of give you guys a little bit more of a visual of how manage works and how you can set that up and what to do. Choosing once you create the site is just created, but you won't be able to present the site to the public until you connect it to your domain. Okay, so that's an important part. Now, once you get it set up, and like I said, WordPress.com, once you go into it, you choose, they have different plans, the free plan, they got personal plan, premium, business, WooCommerce, and there's a couple other ones. Just went off the top of my head with those from memory, but you get to choose, and you still get the domain for a year for free once you get it set up. Okay, let me back up just a little second. If you already have a domain, like I just mentioned, I do, you're able to transfer or migrate your domain over to WordPress.com and utilize their hosting services if that's what you would like to do. Or you create your account, you pick a paid plan. With their paid plans, they give you free hosting. Okay, so that's the difference between the free plan and a paid plan. Free plan, you have to pay for your hosting. The paid plans, you get free hosting. Okay. Now, if I go over to here, give you a little brief view of, because I mentioned I added. Now, you could go ahead and search for a domain to see if it's available. And then at that point, you go ahead and select your domain name. And then they'll go ahead and do their little work, their little magic for you in the background. And you're going to come to this screen. That's what you're going to see then. Over here, this is the account, my WordPress account that I currently already have to my website. And this is for my WordPress website, but it's the self-hosted website. Now this one I pretty much already do have set up. It's just more of me customizing it, and like I mentioned, getting it to the point to where I want it as far as meeting the ending outcome that I have for when I am working with the public and what I want for my website. So I have this part pretty good. And like I mentioned, I've been working with WordPress for a little bit, so I know some of the plugins that I actually like and why. On the managed one, since it is more managed, was the free plan. So I probably will have to try to play around with those, but I might extend a little bit, and then I might have to rethink it and go with the paid plan. But this is more for testing and then showing giving you guys a visual. So I haven't really worked out the tweaks with the managing one yet. We gonna work with it, but for now, just know this is more for observation tool, a visual tool, a tool that you could utilize to kind of see how they both work side by side, and then give you the option to choose. And this help you start to think about why you would choose it. But basically, you're gonna see the same type of thing. Not that type of thing. Come on, don't pop in. Don't pop in. Thank you. Okay. It'd be the same type of thing. You're going to see your accounts over here and the functions, your settings, functions, and what you need to do or can't do. So that is the introduction between setting up the managed and the self managed. But I will go back into this. And basically, for this one, because of the domain, I might, I'm not sure. When I push play on this, I wanted to get the introduction part done. And here's the kicker. I tried to use my screen record and it didn't work. So then the initial setup of it, I don't have, which is why we're here playing a little catch up, just catching up a little bit to the point that I'm at. So, with that being said, plugins, when you go to add those, which is something that you're going to want to use to customize it. Now, for me, as I mentioned, I went with the free plan because it is like a testing site for me. So for me, I will either have to go ahead and transfer my domain over to them or select a domain and then keep it within WordPress.com itself and then have a hosting plan with them that I pay for. Okay, so that's the only limitation that I could think of right now as far as me being able to show hands on. However, since I already do have the WordPress account, I could probably walk through some of it with the account that I actually do have, which will actually flow into me giving you guys visuals of self-hosted and managed and allow you guys to kind of see what they both kind of do, so you're able to better understand what you would need to do, because websites, depending on what you're going for, they could get costly. Your subscriptions, the plugins, if they function the same, it's going to cause problems. But then some of the functions don't have the features, or some of the plugins will function. Allergies will be what you need, but not all the features. So then it's like you got to find a plugin that has all the features you need, or plugins that have different functionalities but similar features. It'd be a whole lot to go into it. It just all I'm gonna say. And it's especially for self-hosted. Now that's more for self-hosted, because if it's managed, then your hosting provider basically is going to do that, and then you got the customer support. Now, customization wise, you can add the plugins from the WordPress repository. So any of those plugins are going to be compatible with WordPress. And then again, if you have questions or whatever with it being managed, then they will be there to assist you with any questions that you would have or any additional plugins that you would make or add to your website for customization. So with that, we're going to go on a small break and then I'll be back.